firing from top wraps, as you guys probably know. Let me take these off. Okay, so we've got the SLK 5.5 litre AMG. Really rare little car, don't see them often nowadays. Little, look how small it is, just look at the dimensions. Big V8, small car, rear wheel drive, it's just a winner. Owner's done a lot of little tweaks to this. Also owns a Ferrari, so he's definitely a petrol head. Doesn't get more like evocative than this. So he's got the stance right, some coilovers in the back. It's just a gorgeous, it's just a gorgeous car. I need to talk to the mic because I've noticed every time I turn away, the audio goes crap. And yes, I will be upgrading my video setup soon. So I'm not going to record all of the washing process and decontamination process. Everybody does it. Most people know what happens, and it's boring as sin. So I'm going to get on with it. When we get inside, I'll start recording again. Let's get to it. Peace. Okay guys, right, interior is going for a full interior detail. I'm not going to show you absolutely everything. You guys know how to vacuum a car, but what I am going to show you is how to deal with leather. Tampico brush, leather cleaner is on, leather specific cleaner, and you're just going to go in circular motions, really get in the grain. The leather shouldn't look shiny. Once you've wiped this off, it should be a dull finish. And we're just going to keep going over it. Do the other side, and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. This is what I use for the leather. Gliptone, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Unfortunately, I hear that they've gone out of business, and that is my last little piece. So you only need a small piece. Separate it onto the panels. Small circular motions, and then spread. Circular motions, then spread. Really feeds the leather, also gives it a lovely leather smell. Yeah. And once I buff this off, it leaves the leather nourished, smelling good, lovely and soft feeling, and it dries to a lovely non-shiny finish. It's a little bit shiny at the moment, but I still need to buff this out with a regular cloth. So that's what we'll be doing for the rest of the interior. And yeah. And you can win that today.
If he hesitates to draw, it's that easy.
Just to show you what I'm working with here, it's really bad. Look at the boot. Can you see these, what almost looks like sanding marks across? So it's really, really rough. The whole car looks like this pretty much. Big abrasion mark there. So got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of work to do. A little bit about machinery. Excuse me if it's a little bit dark in here, I've turned off these big ring of lights because it just plays havoc with the camera. It really flashy, you know, that LED flicker. So, two-stage on this SLK 55 AMG, German paint system, so hard clear coat. I've measured the paint is of good depth. So when choosing which machine I'm going to use personally, this is my preference, my opinion. Not everybody chooses to do things this way. I'm going to go with the rotary. Why I like the rotary is using a pad like this, you can really, honestly, the cut that you can get for a two-stage is fantastic. There are other options. What I love about the rotary is it's such a versatile machine. You can tip it slightly to get into the crevices. I've got an adjustable trigger so I can slow it down on the swage lines. Now, I understand that a lot of people, particularly beginners, maybe if you're just not that confident, some people, even experienced detailers, choose not to use a rotary. They can, if you catch an edge, they can cause burns very quickly, can burn through the clear. I've seen that quite a lot. But make no mistake, that can happen with the DA. So it's not, I understand that this machine you have to be careful with, but I believe that it gives my customers the finish that they come here for. So I will start with the rotary on a coarse wool pad using Kosh Chemie H9 heavy cut. I'll then move over to probably my Duetto. It's a lovely and light machine to refine it out, get it looking good. I'm using Root yellow pad with Skull, I think it's called Skull Black, something like that, to really refine it out. Now, if I was going to be doing a single stage, I'd just use just this machine, and I'd work out the best compound. I've cut gloss to try and hit everything. A lot of people for their two stages will use a DA, and then they'll use pads like this. This is a Maguire's microfiber pad. These are a fantastic finish, and what's good about these machines is you're not really putting in holograms, you're not putting in buffer trails into the paint. Yes, it mars it out a little bit, dulls the finish, which you refine out, but you're not putting those, that damage into the paint. I think, me personally, I find that these machines aren't very smooth. DAs, their whole action, obviously your circle, and then you've got a circle within the circle. I find them the vibrations, they're very noisy. They're not very versatile at getting into little creases and crevices. This car is very curvy, so I believe that the rotary is going to be the one to jump into. So we're going to be hitting with the rotary. Obviously, I've got my smaller machines for some of the smaller areas. This one is a rotary as well, which is fantastic. The Proxon is fantastic, so I love that machine. So yeah, let's get into it and keep moving. Great tool this is, so you can get under the underside, between the two of them, you can really hit all of this area. For phase 2, or for the second stage of correction, I'm going to be using my little Duetto. Nice and compact machine, really light. Throw it with a yellow pad, and we're going to use Skull S20 Black to refine this out. It's going to look amazing. These rear sections in carbon. This is a gorgeous carbon as well. Absolutely gorgeous. So that's what I'm going to do. Really high spec film. I use this when I create the SVR look cars. Hopefully I can get the other side out of that too. Should be able to. So we're going to do this real time together. So first things first, trim off any excess that you don't need. So in this case, let me get rid of that section. Got a little bit at the top there, quite a bit at the top. We don't really want it to be any bigger than we need it to be. Really simple little piece. We're just going to stick it on where we want it. Sometimes if you really think about what you're doing, you can stop yourself having to do any extra tucking work. So I've lined that up at the top. Excuse me, I'm losing my words. I've lined it up at the top where I want it to be. Now remember, being carbon, we don't want to stretch this film. We don't want to distort it, because what we'll do is we'll lose the weave pattern. Simple as that. We don't want to lose the weave, because if we lose the weave, it will look crap. So what we'll do here, being a black car, we don't really need to worry about getting any roll around in. We're just going to get it on the surface, and we'll go from here. So trimming, blade in, resting on the side of the panel, really neat cuts like so. Just like that. So angling my blade slightly out just gives me just a little bit to just tuck around the side. Not excessively so, but just enough. This bottom section, same again. We're just gonna poke the blade in, run the knife nice and gently, taking our time, running down there, and you can see it starting to take shape. Might help if I had my glove on here. Now this bit is a little bit more interesting, because we need to run this. Let's get rid of this section here. Always cutting in the gaps. I'm going to need to get rid of these gloves. They're hindering me. So that's where I need to be, there. So if I get my knife, That's running really nice. Up there, so you can see. What I need to do now is go back again. So I deliberately left myself a little bit more that time because quite a difficult trim to make. And that's how it looks. So what we'll do here, get the glove on and seal the deal. And seal the deal. And that is a nice direct carbon piece. Same the other side, and then we're done. Final stages of this one, ties are dressed, bits at the back are wrapped. I've got the front badge to wrap. Now I'm just layering up the ceramic. gtechniq Ultra, the customer actually didn't expect Ultra. I'm going to upgrade it for him free of charge. You spend a lot of money, so sometimes I like to give just every other customer. I like to make sure that they, I'm giving something back, particularly the ones that are, really spending with me. So, Crystal Serum Ultra, going on the car. It looks incredible. I can't wait for him to see this. It looks immense. I think he's going to be a very, very happy customer. So I'm not going to show you how to apply this. Really, really simple. Well, I'm not going to say it's really simple. It's time consuming. We're going to apply them in 30 by 30 centimetre squares. We're blending across the panels because it does change the colour of the panel, changes the gloss, so it's really important that we blend across. Always ended in the direction that I want the water to run. So that's how we do this. And then lastly, I'll do a little walk around, maybe a little start up so you can hear it because it sounds awesome. Got the long tube headers and nobody mentioned them, but boy, the sound is sweet. And that's another one done. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Help me grow. I really appreciate it. And hopefully this one's a little bit better than some of my other ones. Peace. I know that this camera doesn't really pick up, particularly with these bright lights, how good this looks. Let's have a little walk over it, 2 stages. Front badge wrapped. That looks immense from how it came in. Wrap rear buttresses. Finally, the car has a finish deserving of such an awesome little case study. Gorgeous thing to work on. Really, really grateful to the customer, who's I'm sure is watching this. So thank you very much for your custom. Really enjoyed working on your car and babying it like it's my own, as I always do. So we're literally just waiting for the customer in question to turn up shortly, and I'll try and see if I can capture his reaction. Customer's just walking down as we speak, so let's catch his reaction.
Are we doing?
Come through.
Oh, Jesus.
Come through.
Wow.
Bloody hell. That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's come out really well.